Thank you very much for that, Daniel. As Groucho Marx said, after an introduction like that, I can barely wait to hear myself talk. My first two names are, in fact, Ian, would you like another drink? So don't be shy about introducing yourself later on at the bar. I'm very friendly, so just come up and use those two names. I'd like to start by thanking, on behalf of the bride and groom, I'd like to thank the bridesmaids, Emma and Sandra. I'd just like to say how wonderful they look today as well. I'm sure you'll all agree with me. And I'm sure that you'll all agree as well, Kath looks radiant and makes a beautiful bride. I'd like to say to Dan that Kath is a lovely person and she deserves a good husband. So you're lucky you married her before she found one. And just so I don't leave anyone out in the thank yous, I just say all the ushers, Andy, Pete, Rob, Nick, you all look pretty beautiful as well. So, now, when I was writing this speech, I decided to borrow from some of the great public speakers in history. But after researching the material, there wasn't really much wedding material in the speeches of Stalin, Hitler and Castro, so I tried another approach. This dictionary defines wedding as the act of removing unwanted plants from your garden. So that wasn't much high-five. So I tried the qualities of the groom. I've known him for almost 10 years. He's humorous, intelligent, witty, generous. This is a wedding I'm going to next week. No, traditionally, I should take the mickey out of Dan, telling you that he was such an ugly baby. When he was born, the doctor picked him up by his legs to slap life into him, took one look at his bottom, then his face, and said, "My goodness, Siamese twins." Or that his mother used to tie a kip around his neck just so the cat could play with it. But I think it's more appropriate to talk about Daniel's life and confirm Kath's relatives' worst fears. Dan was born on May the 25th, 1973, giving rise to two ironies. 1973 was the Chinese year of the ox. So how appropriate that he should marry Kathleen, who was raised on a good beef cattle farm. This will hopefully have acclimatised her to the strange smells, the constant feeding, and being handy with a cattle prod will come in useful. Talking of strange smells leads me on to the second irony. What a coincidence that on May the 25th, 1915, poisonous gas was first used in warfare for the very first time. So without going into detail, you can link these four phrases. Dan, strange smells, poison gas, crime against humanity. When Daniel was 5 years old, we find him celebrating the Silver Jubilee wearing his mother's tights. While dressed as a chicken. Compare that with this year's Golden Jubilee, when we find Daniel wearing his mother's tights. In the bedroom. Say, really, just wearing his mother's tights. In his teenage years, Daniel starts to reveal the personality that we know and love today. Jane and Robin realised what sort of boy he was. They wanted an Einstein, and they got a Frankenstein. When Dan was 17, he was riding along on his mighty 50cc moped at night and came off on a patch of ice. A policeman turned up, and Dan, using all his teenage charm, said, "Good evening, officer. Are you all right?" The policeman replied, "I would be if it weren't for dickheads like you." Daniel was charged with careless driving, and the case was dealt in the local court. Dan was young and very nervous. The clerk of the court asked him to confirm his name and address. But Dan was so nervous, he just shouted, "Guilty!" at the top of his voice. He said even the magistrate was trying not to laugh. I first met Dan at work a couple of years later, where he introduced himself as, "Hi, Dan Taylor." Nobody important, really. Dan was the kind of guy you could count on for a job to be thought through and well done, and on many occasions I was very grateful for these abilities and his skill for organising people. We used to share a car into work. I used to pick up Dan in the morning, and he would enlighten my life with stories of teenage angst, and how his mother and father were really undercover secret agents playing a game of good cop and bad cop. So Robin and Jane, if you were secret agents, it really worked. Well done, yeah. But Dan had other plans for life, and after much careful thought, left his job and went to university, which must have been a very tough decision, and one that I do respect him for. He obviously made the right choice, because 4 years later, he left with a degree and awards for the best student, the Chairman's Prize, and the Sponsor's Prize, which is hogging things by any standard. but the biggest... Bring 2 people on course. The biggest prize Dan gained at university with his future wife. Mixing pathos with humour, you see. Dan also inherited from his parents the ability to get on with people. And it's a real pleasure today to see people from different parts of his life. We have childhood friends from Lichfield, we have people from university and work, and looking at Matty over there, we even have a representative from Twycross Zoo. Now, this was also reflected in last weekend's stag do, where the conversation varied over such subjects as the uses for the cardboard tube out of a kitchen roll. Now, you can tell any about that later. You might be a bit shy, but keep on trying, okay? Don't stop. Other subjects included who's the toughest, Bruce Lee or Hong Kong Phooey? And my favourite, if you put a lion, a tiger and a bear and an alligator together in a boxing ring, having a fight, which one would win? So I'd like to say what a genuine honour it is to be asked to be Dan's best man today, and I know I'm just one of many equally suitable close friends that he could well have chosen. I've always looked upon Dan as the younger brother I never had, and in his own way Dan thinks of me as the older brother he never wanted. So I'd like to finish again in the traditional way. Ladies and gentlemen, please could you stand, charge your glasses, join me in a toast, Dan and Kathleen.
The crocodile every time. No way. There.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, Kathleen's brother Robert would now like to say a few words.